Can you get rid of this stuff?
Maybe if we can get it at the source?
Yo, what is up, guys? It's Gamerverse back again, doing another review for you guys today, man. So today we are reviewing Pragmata. Pragmata is the latest Capcom game. I think it released before Resident Evil Requiem or after. I think it might be after. I'm not sure. Just fact check me on that. But I know it did release in April of this year, and it is actually a really good game. It's a little bit short, but it is a good game, and I decided to test it on my GTX 1660 Ti. I think I just said 16 too much, but it's a GTX 1660 Ti, and it's got 6 gigs of VRAM, as most of you guys know. If you want to know what my PC specs are, go ahead and check it out in my channel bio. But basically, I am using it on PC, and I played the game on PC, completed it, and in this review, I'll be going over my first impressions, characters, story, and this whole video is spoiler free, so don't worry about seeing any things. I won't spoil the game for you. I'll be going over the gameplay mechanics and, of course, the performance, how the game performed, the graphics, and the optimization, and basically, is there any bugs and technical issues. So, without further ado, guys, let's get into it. So, my initial thoughts after booting the game, or not completing it, but after playing it for like at least 5 hours, because the game took me like, I think it took me like 12 hours to complete. But my initial thoughts after playing the game for like 2 hours in, I was just like, wow, this is definitely like a different game. This is like Capcom thinking way ahead. This isn't like Resident Evil where it's horror and things like that. This is just so different. It's more of like a sci-fi, Dead Space, almost Dead Space, but not really Dead Space. It's just uh yeah, you could even call it that. You could call it like a Dead Space. Uh but the main story in the game is that you play as somebody who's a mechanic, and he's on this mission to fix a certain ship, but then something happens to the AI in the ship. The AI takes over the entire ship, and this guy is just being haunted. You play with somebody called Yu, or Yui. You can call him Yui. Had me thinking of the boys, but yeah, you play with Yu, and he actually meets this little companion, or this little small girl, and then he discovers that she might not be human. So throughout the game, you play with her, and you get to upgrade, and she actually helps you. She helps you, and she helps you hack these robots, because you are gonna have to hack them if you want to get past them. And also, you get to use some weapons, and the game feels polished. I mean, for a game that is so short, Capcom really polished the game in terms of like the story and the characters. So like I mentioned, that's the main protagonist. You play with Yui, but she's also kind of like a lot in the game. You do play with her a lot, and her name is Diana, and she is like an AI that got left behind in this ship, or this whole type of space station thing that you're on. The relationship between you an astronaut, and she's a young girl, it's very engaging, and it definitely helps the narrative out a lot to have this connection. And just at the end of the game, you just feel a whole different feeling because of this young girl, and the story really hooks you early with this young girl, having this young girl in it. And she's very cool though. Like I said, she helps you hack and all of these things. She helps you get through a lot of parts in the game. And I think without her, you would not be able to survive. I think without her, the game would just be like a Dead Space knockoff kind of. But it's different. There's sci-fi in it. There's some hacking. Like I mentioned, AI is a big thing. And I feel like this is something that might even happen in on Earth if we're not careful right now with how AI is and how robotics is. And next, I want to talk about the gameplay mechanics. That's the story, basically a plot of the story without spoiling anything. And everything you see on screen is just gameplay of the first hour, or first or like second hour. So I'm not showing you like any deep gameplay on the screen. So those are the gameplay. No, those are the story. That's basically the story arc. Next, I want to talk about the gameplay mechanics. So the game has a cool combat system. It's basically just shooting. You can actually use melee if you want to. There's some puzzle mechanics thrown in there with a ton of exploration and a lot of platforming. You're gonna find yourself platforming a lot in the game. Like you gotta get up certain places and you gotta get down certain places or around certain places. So and there's also like a variety of these platforming that takes place throughout the game. But I feel that the gameplay is fresh in this way. Sometimes it had you thinking on your toes. And I must admit, the game's platforming was hard and tough, and even the puzzle mechanics. But I didn't look up a guide at all throughout this whole game. Like, I felt like I had to. I thought it was gonna be hard where I had to do that because I've been doing that with some of the games I've been playing recently. But with this game, I managed to get past all the puzzles and things like that. So the puzzles isn't that tough. Just the enemies that can be tough sometimes, but that depends on what level your character is and basically what how powerful your guns are and the variety of the enemies. And there is a big variety of enemies here, and there are a lot of encounters as you progress through certain stages in the game or certain levels. But it keeps the gameplay fresh, and of course, there are a lot of bosses. I think there was about 5 or 6 bosses, and they are super powerful. Even the first boss that you face is like super powerful, but the bosses are awesome. I must say, the design that they put into these characters, these AI bosses that are fused with whatever this filament is, and you'll understand when you play it. But the filament is like this AI type of strain or something that makes these robots powerful and basically overthrows their protocol and makes them super powerful, then more powerful than they should be actually. So get ready to face off against a lot of bosses and get ready for some crazy boss battles. So yeah, as you guys know, I've got a GTX 1660 Ti, and the performance that you see on screen was tested on that GPU. I was able to play the game on low settings at 1080p with a smooth 120 FPS. That is a lot of FPS, but it is on low settings. And then I played the game on medium settings as well, 1080p. Got a solid 70 frames per second on medium settings, and then on high settings I think I did get 50, 40 to 50 frames per second on high settings. The game has a good performance, to be honest with you, in terms of the frames per second. So I feel like you don't need like a RTX GPU to play this game. Of course, that helps a lot with making the game look smooth and even better than us with GTXs. RTX can make the game look really nice if you have an RTX card. But even if you have a GTX 1660 Ti, you'll still get really good performance and 0% lows. Like you won't get like low FPS at all. The only thing is frame pacing, and there are some stuttering. When I say some, I mean very little throughout the game. But the VRAM usage in the game is weird though. Like if your VRAM usage is like high, I can't tell if it's high or low. Maybe that's a bug. My CPU utilization was low. My GPU utilization was also low. Like when I was playing on medium settings, I was getting 60 frames per second, 70 frames per second. But my GPU utilization is low. Like I mean, it was on 60 to 70 and really hitting 80, 90%. So that is good. The only issue I had with the performance was the sound. For some reason, there was issues with the sound. We had some sound issues. I went to troubleshoot the issue. I did all of the fixes that people recommended on Reddit and things like that, but still, I had this. After playing the game for like 3 hours, it was okay. I could play the game for 3 hours. Nothing wrong with the sound at all. But after 2 hours, it just started doing like a out of sync sound thing, and the cutscenes audio was out of sync. I don't know why that happened, but it wasn't that bad. It just brought the experience a little bit down, but it was still good. I didn't mind the stuttering of the sound. It didn't like throw me off or anything, but it definitely will bring your experience down a little bit. But it depends. It depends on, I think, maybe your PC, and if you have a Steam version or a Epic Games version, maybe it just needs to be updated. I didn't update my game, so yeah, that is the performance, and the texture quality is really good. Let's just talk about the graphics a little bit. The texture quality is nice. The lighting and the reflections in the game are awesome. They made the game in Unreal, not Unreal Engine, in RE Engine. So it is Resident Evil's engine that they used for this game, which is called the RE engine. And I think Capcom are always using that engine nowadays because of how good it is. I think it's a really good engine to use. And they obviously own the engine, so they can do whatever they want with that engine. And the character models look nice. Very similar to Resident Evil Requiem, but I think the environmental details are a little bit different. The game's environment details is different, and they do have some shader things happening at the beginning of the game. Of course, all games are coming with shader compilations at the beginning. But overall, I think it's optimized pretty well in this engine, and I think it's definitely smooth because of this engine. All games that I play from Capcom using the Audi engine is always smooth. You guys can check out my Resident Evil Requiem review on my channel. I'm sure I have the same compliments in that video because I know Resident Evil Requiem performed very nice because of the audio engine. So controls, you can play the game with a keyboard or mouse. It's up to you. I played it with a Xbox Series X controller, very nice, and you get custom key bindings. There's some accessibility options. You know, if you are colorblind, you can utilize these accessibility options. So yeah, I already mentioned that I had some issues with the audio, but I do want to talk about the voice acting. I think the voice acting is nice.
Diana. Hugh. Diana. Hugh. Diana. Hugh. Diana. Hugh. Diana. Hugh. Diana.
Kids.
Um.
Diana?
Diana. Diana.
The girl that plays Diana, I think she's really good for that role that she's playing. And I think you was really good. I felt like he was being voiced by Troy Baker, the guy that plays Joel in The Last of Us. He kind of gave me that vibe. But I think it was good. The voice acting was good overall, and the background soundtrack was also cool. Definitely helped with the immersion factor of the game. And in terms of like pros and cons, I don't think there are much cons. This is a really good game. It's just a short game, but it's really good. And I think it's kind of like it feels kind of like a tech, almost like a tech demo, but just an extended version of a tech demo. But it's really cool, and I feel like there's more things that could have been done with this game. Maybe they'll have a part two. The game has three endings, by the way, so I did get the default ending. I don't want to share that with you. Zero spoilers. I don't want to spoil the game for you, but there are three endings that you can get in the game. How to achieve these three endings? I think you can go ahead and look it up on Google or go to IGN or something and check it out. But the game has three endings, and I don't think the game has a lot of cons. It was only the audio issues that I had, but the game it's a good game. Definitely, it's enjoyable, even on older hardware like mine. I've got a little bit older hardware, and I still was able to play it. So, the base settings for smooth gameplay for me was medium, and I didn't mind that because the game still looked great. And final verdict, what am I score am I giving it? Well, the story was great, gameplay was great, graphics was awesome, optimization a little bit. I had a little bit of issues with it, but it was good. Is it worth buying, and is it worth buying specifically for GTX 1660 Ti owners? I think it's worth buying on Steam. It shouldn't be going for that much on Steam right now, but it's worth buying. But it just depends. Like if you are a huge fan of Capcom games, to be honest with you, I wouldn't buy it. Like I played it on a different account. I was able to get the game for free. But if you do like Capcom's games, I think you should definitely buy it. It's just one of those good games that you can go back to. And the game has an extra mode called a incoming signal or something, which is basically just playing the story but with different enemy waves of enemies. It is not really like a new story mode or anything. It's basically just the original story with some enemies. You get some enemy waves that you need to take down and things like that. So if you played the story, wow, the game is about, it's $80, like $70 on Steam. Okay, it is a bit pricey. It is a bit pricey. I don't know if you guys have that much cash. But you should wait for a sale then. If you know you won't buy it, definitely wait for a sale. And let me just say this, guys. It is just one of those games that you should at least play once or twice. And the final score that I'll be giving this game is a solid 8 out of 10. I think it deserves a 8 out of 10. In my opinion, it had good graphics, unexpected gameplay mechanics. There's some hacking in there. Yeah, I enjoyed the hacking a lot, as I like games that has hacking in it. But the trailers accurately actually represent the game. So when I watched the trailer or the gameplay trailer, I kind of had an idea of what I would be in for, besides the audio bugs. But let me know what you guys think. That's my final score for Pragmata. Let's hope that Capcom will do a sequel for this game. I'll definitely be playing it. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you played the game. Let me know if you're planning on playing it. And if you did, let me know. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel. And of course, guys, as you know, I've been Gamerverse, and I'll see you in another video.